All right, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day wherever you are and you're enjoying the current state of the market. It may be boring, it may be downside. However, every day we get new data in regards to what's happening in terms of the overall markets. That way, we can make a more informed decision in regards to our investment portfolio. Now, there's a lot been happening in terms of the overall tensions that are continuing to essentially rise in the Middle East. Every day it seems like you wake up and there's a new country essentially going to war or getting involved in the current tensions that are taking place. And it seems like Iran may get more involved into what could be happening in the Middle East overall, and this could basically trigger the markets to to the downside. Now, again, sometimes we forget that Bitcoin is about 14, 15 years old in terms of the point where price action started being recorded. And Bitcoin is not so accustomed to these type of tensions or wars that have been happening around the world. Now, we've seen, some data points, or Bitcoin has seen some data points in terms of, the Fed going from hawkish to dovish or dovish to hawkish. But even then, that's a small amount of data. And really, the only data you can refer back to is usually traditional markets, so stocks, equities. Those will give you a more insightful information in terms of your backtesting and maybe get a more of an idea of where Bitcoin could possibly be heading. Now, I've made a video in the past covering, the stock market essentially crashing once the pivot essentially happens in terms of the rates. Now, we've seen that the Fed went ahead and they pivoted, which has been a long waited for quite some time, as a lot of the central banks around the world have already had started to essentially pivot. But with that being said, Bitcoin really, has been in this channel for quite some time. For since coming back in March of 2028, where the seemed like the bull market was starting, to kick off, and then we started this ranging market, boring ranging action for quite some time now. If you're a ranging trader, this has been lucrative overall for you. Buying these tops and bottoms overall, they've been very profitable. But if you're a more long-term investor and you've been waiting for Bitcoin to get back in that bull train, it has been very quiet for you, and sometimes even a little bit tense, because what we had was this right here, right, where the Japan markets affected overall the crypto space, the equity space, stocks, commodities, everything was basically being affected when this had occurred. And this was basically the carry trade, the Japanese carry trade, which I won't get too much into because it's a bit of old news. But if you do want to do a little bit more research, there's a lot of videos online talking about it overall. With that being said, guys, again, lower time frames, Bitcoin has been doing quite well so far. Coming off of these September 2024 lows, putting in that uptrend. What I'd like to see from Bitcoin particularly is hold that $60,000 area, which is the base trend of this channel right here. Now, if we start to break below that, the momentum will shift a lot more to the bearish side. So the bears do have the momentum at that point. Once we start to fall below 60K, our next support comes in around $54,000 to $55,000. And then if that does get broken, you are looking at areas of $44,000 to $45,000, which again, there is a bit of a support confluence in these areas around $44,000 to $46,000 region. Now, in particular, what does that mean for the overall trend? Well, coming in since back of June 2024, right, you're still in that downside bearish momentum, and it is applying overall pressure in the long scheme term of things, right, in the long term aspect of the timetables. So what I'd like to see, again, is Bitcoin continue to hold that $60,000 area. And then more likely, if it does, the momentum does come in around testing the 67 resistance. And then hopefully from that point, Bitcoin can resume its more likely bull market from here. But again, this area of 60K, very important level. I did discuss, made a video quite some time ago talking about how Bitcoin was more likely building bearish momentum here. Now, I'm not here to toot my own horn or anything like that, but markets did seem like they were going to take a tumble, and some sort of news needed to come out for that to had happen, and it looks like it happened off of the back of the Japan markets overall. Now, with that being stated here, what are altcoins going to be doing? What are we expecting an altcoin market? Now, the problem with an altcoin market is that you need retail investors. Now, retail investors have been completely flushed with overall debt, right? The debt is surmountable, and it's just a tsunami at this point, and people are definitely struggling with high interest rate. Until we see rates really come down and people feel that they have the ability to go and borrow and invest, the last thing you would want to go invest in is a high volatility market like the crypto space. Now, again, usually from what we've seen from the past, those were lower rates, right? And people were going out borrowing and investing, and even at times you were getting stimmy checks coming into the crypto space. At this point, we haven't seen that yet, right? We have not seen that yet. If anything, from what data tells us, is that usually the expectation from traditional markets is that the markets don't do so well when the Fed is actually pivoting. So there is a trend change usually there. So there is no positivity to take from that in terms of there being an altcoin run with such data. So what I would say is, look, retail investors are not here yet. It's all about institutional investors, and those institutional investors, have been the big boys, right? Those are the BlackRocks and those guys that have gone into, let's say, in the big market cap coins. Yes, there is a lot of talks, again, in regards to further development overall with ETFs and things like that. But again, specifically with altcoins, they are the more riskier play. So you got to weight your opportunity cost. And I think the best, safer play right now would be Bitcoin at this point than anything else, because of the economic factors of the pivot and what is happening globally with uncertainty around the world, and especially in the Middle East, where it is going to be causing of a more massive impact in terms of the markets. So with that, coupling these two into that, it's very hard to say whether or not we are close to an altcoin season or not. But I mean, let's just hope that Bitcoin can continue to hold 60K. Particularly myself, what I'm doing is just holding on to what is there already, not make too many irrational moves, because the past 7-8 months has been a ranging market. It can make investors and traders make irrational moves to the wrong side of the direction of the market, and you will regret it at some point in time. Anyways, guys, this was just an update video. Hopefully I will make more videos throughout the upcoming weeks. Hopefully I can stick to 2-3 videos a week. If not, I will try to do my best to keep you guys updated. Those who are still subscribed here, I know I probably lost a lot of subscribers for not uploading for quite some time here, but I will not be making videos daily, but hopefully 2 to 3 videos a week at least, to keep you guys well informed and updated in regards to the overall markets. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you off with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay positive.